because they want to be entertained. They want to hear smoke. They want to hear the arguments. So for you to sit here and say, but the chat agreed with me, you kind of sound crazy because the chat is going to agree with anything divisive. So I don't want to go back and forth with you on that. I just wanted to say that.
I'm going to respond to that because you
after I'm done. The
only thing I disagree with is that sometimes I think divisiveness is necessary. For example, when you're talking about somebody that says that their femininity, or you hear the language of their femininity is conditional, I believe that men should most definitely divide themselves from those type of women. I didn't say divide from all women. I was specifically talking about the specific point of women saying that their femininity is conditional. That you most definitely, just like if some guy got up here and started talking wildly about how he would go upside women's heads and a woman says, leave those niggas alone, I would not go to her and be like, hey, look, who hurt you? I would say, you are absolutely right to leave that nigga alone. And that's basically where I'm coming from. So it's not necessarily it is divisive, but it's a necessary divisiveness because those type of people we are supposed to leave alone. Divine feminine women are the ones we're supposed to be drawn to. I'm just going to call it feminine women, but I know you use divine, so I just want to throw that back at you. But feminine women, yes, we're supposed to gravitate towards, and we're supposed to cover, and we're supposed to move towards. But women who are purposely masculine with their men or purposely making their femininity conditional, absolutely divide from them.
I do just want to say two things that you said, and I think divide is strong because divide means separate, right? But what if you were to teach? You know, you are a masculine man, and being a masculine man, you have a beautiful opportunity to let us women know, you know, what you're doing, this isn't effective, or what you're doing, whatever it could be, whatever is the truth for a man. I'm not a man, I don't know. But I think there's a beautiful opportunity to bridge the gap instead of create a larger one. We don't turn away from things that are weaponized. We face it head on so we can come up with a solution to the problem. And then also, I just want to say, I think the difference between a divine feminine woman and a feminine woman is God. Most men, the majority of men probably wouldn't be attracted to a divine feminine woman. They might be attracted to look at her, but when it comes to that energy, it's a whole different ball game when you get around that light. And now the light that you called in and you think that you want is exposing every demon and skeleton that you've ever had in your life. And now you've either got to do the work to get rid of them, or do the work to clean it up, do the work to become better, do the work. Right. And so, yes, I do think that being a divine feminine is a beautiful thing because it is so attractive. But it attracts everything. Right. Like the quote that says, you know, there can be no darkness where there is light. The more light there is, darkness is either pushed away or it has to transform. Right. And I think that that's the opportunity that being in your divine feminine has, is that we transform a lot of the dark, but that doesn't mean that the dark isn't all around you. That's the only way you can see the light. Right. So that's the difference for me. Divine feminine is very different from feminine.
So let me say this to Sweeney. What Sarah said is exactly why the chat is the only one that agreed with you. And I know Ruth said she agreed. I'm talking. So we're to a certain degree at a status of leadership. All of us is doing different things in our lives or whatever. And I don't know who was on the other show, right? But overall, we are chosen to be on these panels in most cases, because some people just be random people. In most cases, because we are a little bit more intellectually or emotionally fit than the chat. Okay. The chat is watching us and being entertained by us. And since we're on Black YouTube, most likely the majority of the people in the chat are on this red pill bullshit. Right. So when you say something and everybody or virtually everybody in the chat agrees with you, but everybody on the actual panel disagrees with you, that means there actually is a problem, because the chat is ready. They're on some off with her head type of shit. Let somebody say something. Get rid of Mommy 3. Get rid of Sarah. They always they want smoke. So every time there's something divisive said, like Sarah said, the chat is instantly going to agree with you because they want to be entertained. They want to hear smoke. They want to hear the arguments. So for you to sit here and say, but the chat agree with me, you kind of sound crazy because the chat is going to agree with anything divisive. So I don't want to go back and forth with you on that. I just wanted to say that.
I'm going to respond to that because you just
after I'm done. So and to answer your other issue, which you fail to understand, and the people in the chat fail to understand. Women and men are not goddamn same. And I don't know how much I gotta fucking say this. Women are like water, okay? They all over the goddamn place. They left, right, up and down, right? They're everywhere. They're not men. I'm not done, sir. And for some weird gay reason, y'all either want women to act like men or won't accept women if they aren't acting like men. But y'all want them to be feminine all at the same goddamn time, which is stupid. So women operate like water. A woman is going to take the shape of the container in any environment. If she goes over here, she's going to take a shape of that environment. She comes over here, she's going to take the shape of that environment. They are not a monolith like men. Men are stoic, and we most likely are going to be consistently the same in every environment. Women aren't. And if you niggas can't accept women for being them, go be with a man. All right. The next is men are like buses, because this is for Ash. You had a question earlier. How does a woman, if she doesn't know where she's going, how does she pick a man, right? You have to look at men like buses, okay? For you to get on a particular bus to go a certain direction, you already have to want to go a certain direction. And I think Sweeney said that in the chat. And that's why I agree with you on Sweeney. Women have to know where they want to go before they start getting with a man. All right. Because the thing about it is, men are like buses. You got to look on the side of the bus and agree to go where the bus is going. You don't just get on a bus and go wherever the man is taking you. No, you have to agree with the man. You got to sit down with the man and say, so where do you want to go? Or what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then you got to hear it and say, nope, I'm not going there. Get off the bus. Or either you got to say, oh, okay, we're going the same way. I'll sit on the bus, but I'm not going to put my headphones on, look out the window. I'm going to watch your ass to see if you know how to drive this bitch. And then don't take over if he can't drive it. You get off the bus, because that's the difference. You can't take over. You have to get off the bus. And that's what women don't know how to do properly. They like to try to take over instead of getting the fuck off the bus.
It has to be a great foundation for trust, because you don't want to compromise and then years later be upset with yourself that you settled for the life that you chose.
Right, because you weren't going in the same direction as a person. Right.
Exactly. And life changes. People grow in different areas every day and years. Couples, marriages, they're relearning each other. They're refalling in love with each other. So things happen, of course, but when you have that commitment to understanding one another and growing with that person, then you're able to still meet at the same point. You're still able to accomplish, like, you're still able to make plan B, make plan A work for the two of you, but you have to be on the same mind frame to get that done, because you don't want to be led astray, nor do you want to just be submissive to something that your dream doesn't support your dreams.